Good morning. Today is 25th of April 2020, and this is a video for ship owners. What is Candina Group doing to increase the intrinsic value, compound intrinsic value of the assets and of the crew trained in safety records and in efficiency, with the costs also involved? What are we doing today? We are making a certification of the 4 key employers in Candina Group. We have Candina Fleet in Singapore. Then also we have Pacific Crew Management in Panama. Why having 2 employers is strategical for you, client? Because you can diversify. You might have ships that are of different trades, that might have ITF agreements, might have different cargo, might have different type of ships, different, for example, let's say CBAs, IBFs, wage scales, insurances. So therefore it is not convenient if you have in a container ship trading to Europe one agreement, and then the same container ship it's trading in the South Pacific, so you might want to have a different agreement, because over there you have, let's say, crew from South Pacific, so it is not available to use the same wage scales due to the social security being different in those countries, whatever reason. Also, it is nice to diversify between Panama and Singapore, I believe, in flag of convenience, to diminish the risk of the employer. The risk of the employer, as well as the risk of coronavirus, has never been really measured until we do really have such, and it's too late then. So I believe it is very interesting for ship owners, through the 125 years of Candina shipping experience, to diversify into different employer. Then we also have Candina Ship Management in Tenerife and Biscay Ship Management in Bilbao. Why also have 2 Spanish employers? Well, it's very obvious. If the ship is in the Canaries, then perhaps it's more convenient to have the employer in the peninsula, because the peninsula cannot send the invoices with VAT to the Canaries, and the Canaries cannot send the invoices with IJIC, which is the Canarian VAT, to the peninsula. Yeah, don't ask me why, but this kind of a mess is very typical of the gaps that the public institutions allow in today's market, which we have to make the most of. Also, if you have a different type of ships as LNG and chemical, or passenger ship and RoPax ship, or ferry, pure conventional ferry, then you can have, say, employed by one or the other. It is also situation that in Spain you can only use one employer. So as well as in the previous 2 Panama and Singapore situations, you can have more than one employer on board. Of course, all of them in compliance with the Maritime Labor Convention. Sorry, in Spanish flag it is only one employer for the whole crew. Therefore, it is convenient nowadays that you can rotate from one employer to another employer, because you cannot put all the risks in the same employer, let's say, and it could be more convenient because ships trade from North Spain to South, or because a company is so big you want to diversify from one employer to another employer, because there are any reasons, strategical reasons that the board has decided. Therefore, Candina Group is really investing very heavily into informing, and this is the reason for this video, the client that we might be able to use the same enlistment contract, same wage scale, same P&I insurance, same medical examination, same drug and alcohol test, same prevention for coronavirus, same nationality crews, but now with Candina we are going to certify 4 employers. We already have 2 under ISO and MLC. Another 2 are one of them with MLC and the other one now soon with MLC, which is Candina Sim Management. But we want to have 4. Why? Because we believe it's hugely strategical for the ship owner not to be the employer. You can be the ship owner, but you don't need to be the employer. And why then you want to be the employer if you don't need to be the employer? The risk associated to it being employer is huge, and the risk associated to not being employer is 0. Why? Because we, the crew management companies, core crew management companies, are specialized into being employers, as the recruitment and placement of Maritime Labour Convention articles specify, and we have to comply with not getting money from the seafarers. We have to comply with insurance that they are repatriated, that also they get the last wage should the company go bankrupt, and so we are specialized in this. Plus, we have a database of around 150,000 seafarers. So let's say that our industry is much greater. The capacity we have, the pool we have of seafarers is huge. We are growing at the rate of about 10% per year, this database. Now, we have also incorporated a Filipino partner that also in the digital database, they are going to grow together, and this is a strategic partnership we have just signed 2 weeks ago. And we are also dedicated exclusively for crew management. We do not diversify into any other sectors. We don't provide dividends. I myself don't get any dividends from the company because the strategy is that we have to reinvest in the company. We are a 125-year-old company since in 1896, Captain Antonio Candina, with 9 years old in one pharmacy in Plencia, Pharmacy Aramburu in Plencia, still living. They have a museum of the old recipes and how they used to make all these in the pharmacy things. And that's how he met some seafarers. They used to go there from the Indies and the Americas and provide the material to the pharmacies, make recipes and all these exotic things. And that's why he wrote in a paper, I want to be maritime officer, Antonio Candina. Since then, we are continuing with this. So we do have still got recipes. One of them is that we are not going to provide any dividends. We are going to reinvest all the money in the companies. We are going to have a digital database growing and growing, and going to reinvest constantly and continuously so that this database provides more pool seafarers to ship owners. We are going to make this 4 employers strategy because we believe that big ship owners above 10, 15 ships can be benefited of a 2% agency fee, transparent at cost, which is the best way to profit the intrinsic value of the crew, the training, the safety, and the assets. Therefore, this is the way we are also going to reinvest into the certification. Now we had a huge problem with Lloyd's Register. with this coronavirus, they do not understand the class societies that we survival companies need digital class. The previous Tesnoske Veritas Lloyd's Register have a lot of conflicts because they are not friendly to a small and medium companies like us. And so now seems that Bureau Veritas has provided us a very good deal that now I have to study as soon as I finish this video because it's very